The war fell silent, but something far more dangerous was left behind. Across Iran, intact American bombs are being pulled from the ground, undetonated, untouched, and now unlocked. In the hands of the IRGC, US firepower is being taken apart piece by piece, and what they learn next could erase America's edge. Less than a month after guns went quiet, Iran is scouring through the wreckage, and what it has found could matter well beyond its own borders. On April 26th, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps announced that its bomb disposal teams had recovered more than 15 American missiles in the southern province of Hormozgan, intact, undetonated, and now headed for reverse engineering. The missiles are primarily of the GBU and BLU types, among the most advanced in the US arsenal. The IRGC's Imam Sajjad Corps, based in the provincial capital of Bandar Abbas, confirmed the weapons had already been handed to its technical and research units. That was not all. In the northern province of Zanjan, a separate IRGC unit, the Ansar al-Mahdi Corps, recovered more than 9,500 bomblets scattered across the province, dropped through cluster munitions during aerial mining operations targeting critical infrastructure. It said IRGC bomb disposal teams in Zanjan had also neutralized or destroyed some 55 rockets and missiles during the recent war. Among the ordnance recovered was a GBU-57 bunker buster, one of the most powerful conventional bombs in existence, which was successfully defused and handed to authorities. Since hostilities began on February 28th, the IRGC says it has neutralized or destroyed more than 60 missiles and drones in total, including cruise missiles and advanced drones. The Corps was explicit about what happens next. According to reports, Iran is examining these advanced US weapons with possible assistance from Russia and China. Experts warn this could enable Tehran to develop countermeasures within months, potentially eroding US military advantages. The Pentagon is also grappling with depleted munitions stockpiles from the conflict, raising concerns over long-term readiness and global posture. Iran has a long-standing, well-documented history of capturing Western, particularly American military hardware, and exploiting it for intelligence, reverse engineering, and local production of clone systems. This practice, spanning from the Iran-Iraq War to modern conflict zones in Iraq, Syria, and Ukraine, has enabled Iran to advance its missile, drone, and electronic warfare capabilities despite, or as a direct response to, international sanctions. The IRGC did not say how long the reverse engineering process would take, but made clear the work had already begun. Earlier, the 40-day conflict ended with a ceasefire, with both sides still dealing with what was left behind on the ground. To the north, across the Lebanese border, Israeli soldiers continue to pound Lebanon despite a separate truce. A reminder that in this part of the world, ceasefires rarely mean quiet. On Sunday, April 26th, Iran's Islamic Revolution Guards Corps made a striking announcement from Zanjan province in the country's north. Their bomb disposal units had been combing through fields, farmland, and the areas around sensitive military sites, and what they found paints a picture of just how intense the recent US-Israeli strikes had been. The IRGC said its forces discovered and destroyed 3 GBU-57 bunker buster bombs, what the Pentagon calls the massive ordnance penetrator. Each one weighs 30,000 pounds. They are the largest non-nuclear bombs in the American arsenal, designed specifically to punch through hundreds of feet of concrete and rock before detonating deep underground. These are not weapons you drop on a city block. They are built for one purpose: destroying hardened, buried facilities. 3 of them did not go off. The IRGC also said its units neutralized more than 9,500 bomblets, the kind scattered by cluster munitions to saturate a wide area. 52 rockets were destroyed, more than 10 missiles were recovered and handed over to Iranian authorities. 2 cruise missiles, including a GBU-39, were also found, the statement said, shot down by provincial air defenses and located on the ground. The strikes, according to Iranian state media, came from F-15, F-16, and F-35 fighter jets. The breadth of unexploded ordnance across a single province suggests the bombardment of Zanjan was both sustained and varied. Whether the bombs failed due to Iranian countermeasures, terrain, or technical malfunction, no one outside Iran can say for certain. But the volume of what was found raises serious questions about how deep and how deliberate the targeting of this province was. Zanjan sits roughly 300 kilometers northwest of Tehran. It is not a province that typically makes international headlines. Its appearance in this story is significant. The bombs in Zanjan did not fall during a time of peace. According to Iranian state media, the US-Israeli military campaign against Iran began on February 28th, with airstrikes that Tehran says killed senior Iranian officials and military commanders. What followed, Iran claims, were 100 waves of retaliatory strikes against American and Israeli targets across the region. 40 days into the fighting, on April 8th, a ceasefire brokered by Pakistan went into effect. It was a 2-week pause, fragile by design. The first round of negotiations between Tehran and Washington failed to produce an agreement. President Trump then extended the truce unilaterally, saying his administration would wait for Iran to put forward a proposal for a second round of talks in Islamabad. Iran has not done that. Iranian authorities have pointed to 2 specific reasons. First, what they describe as excessive demands from Washington. Second, an American naval blockade of Iran that remains in place even during the ceasefire. These are not minor grievances to resolve over a weekend. A blockade, even a partial one, is an act of economic pressure, and negotiating under that kind of constraint is something Tehran has publicly said it will not do without conditions. The result is a standoff. The ceasefire holds technically, but the silence is not the same as progress. And the images coming out of Zanjan, of disposal teams working around 30,000-pound bombs that never detonated, are a reminder of what the silence replaced.